E-commerce and digital marketing demo by Digitaldeck. Today we are going to learn about how to identify the key features of the internet audience. We'll discuss the basic concepts of consumer behavior and purchasing decisions. We'll also understand how consumers behave online. We'll identify and describe the basic digital commerce concepts of marketing and advertising. We'll also identify and describe the main technologies that support online marketing. Overall, over 80% of adult internet users report logging on in a typical day. They also spend more time online, over 2 hours per day. In 2015, mobile smartphones and tablets are major access points to the internet and online commerce. About 60% of internet users access the internet using a mobile device. There are fairly equal percentage of men and women users, which is around 85%. When it comes to the young adults who access the internet, they are from between the age of 18 to 29. They form the highest percentage of internet use, which is around 98%. Now, teens, especially between the age of 12 to 17 years, also have a very high percentage of their age group online, which comes to roughly 97%. Adults in the 30 to 49 group, 92% are also strongly represented online. Another fast-growing group online, which was not there previously, is the 65 and over segment. 56% of them who now use the internet. So what is consumer behavior? How do firms understand that? Okay, and what happens through the consumer behavior? Why is it such a difficult science for people to go ahead and understand? Consumer behavior itself comprises of a lot of variables, and some of these variables we'll touch in. But once when firms have an understanding of who's online, they need to focus on how consumers behave online. There are various kind of models which have come in of consumer behavior. The models of them have attempted to predict or explain what consumers purchase and where, when, how much, and why they buy. Coming on a general note for a consumer behavior, the cultural, social, and psychological factors of a consumer are a major factor in deciding what happens to a brand and what exactly are the communications which needs to be used to market to them. What's the stimulus for them? Is it a sublime ad? Is it a normal ad? How can a brand reach them? And it also limits capability of a firm on what it can do. And these factors invariably go ahead and affect an in-store behavior like a brick and mortar stores, and they in turn affect the buyer decisions. So the factors which affect the consumer is cultural, social, and the psychological factors are known as independent demographic variables or the background factors. Whereas how they affect, whom they affect, are the brand, marketing, and the communications, the stimulus, and the capabilities of the firm, which are known as the intervening variables, since they act as a catalyst. So they again go ahead and be there. They're there on the social networks, communities. So a lot of them also go ahead and affect the buyer decisions. A typical model of an online consumer behavior goes like this. It's known as a clickstream behavior. When you look at the clickstream behavior, it encompasses the brand, the marketing, the communications, the stimulus for the same, the capabilities of the firm, and the website features, skills on the consumer, so the characteristics of the product, the attitudes of the purchasing consumer, and how the consumer perceives and controls the product. It's also known as a perceived behavioral control. And a lot of consumers are also taking up to social networks like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn to give feedback, to go ahead and complain about services, positive, negative criticisms on social networks. So this is a trend which also can affect a brand. And these come in because of a consumer's culture, the social norms, and the psychological factors, the background, the demographic factors. It can be a lot of them. And these affect a purchase as well. Alright, so when a consumer chooses an online channel, why does he choose an online channel? And what is it in for him? First thing that he looks at is a 24-hour shopping convenience. So there are consumers who work in BPOs, there are consumers who work in different time zones. There are consumers who just get up from sleep and they want something urgent. So it should be a 24-hour shopping convenience, and brick and mortar stores don't give that. So around 35% of them, 35.1% of them go ahead and choose the online channel because of that. What is the convenience coming from the channel, from the social network or from the store? Is it easier to compare prices? There are a lot of websites which go in from the higher end to the lower end of one product. So a consumer comes online to see how much he can save as well. So how does he know that? So if the place that he goes there is easier to compare the prices, then he would love to go ahead and click on the savings button or the discounts. In fact, more of discounts, more of consumers coming to the brand, if the brand again is effective enough. Now, there are a lot of free shipping offers. Consumers who would not want to pay for shipping of the product. They do not like the crowds. When you go to traditional stores, or malls, there are a lot of crowded places. So many people would not like to be in a place where it's queued out or you have a lot of crowds. So that consumer convenience goes ahead and has the consumer choose the online channel. It's more convenient to shop online because of these, and it's also easier to find items online than in stores. In stores, you cannot go ahead and go to a store which doesn't have your product, or you choose a product, then you go to a different street, then you find that what you wanted was not what you shopped for previously, and the one which you're seeing is what you wanted, and you have already bought it. So these cannot be returned. So it's easier to find the items online than in stores. There is a better variety online. You can look at a large range of products, starting in your mobile phones itself. This goes ahead and is on the lower end to the higher end. So it caters to all segments. There's no sales tax, and it's a direct shipping if you're looking on to gift it to somebody. So the percentage itself varies when people look at discounts to compare prices. Around 33% of them look at the shopping offers, look at around 31%. People who would like to have a peaceful existence online who are around 30%. They also look at more convenience to shop online, and 17% of them have chosen to go ahead and find items online. They say it's better. There's no sales tax, and 13% are people who like to gift around to their own people. How do shoppers find these vendors? How do they do that? How do consumers go ahead and find the right ones with the right discounts and bargains? Given the prevalence of click here banner ads, there are a lot of banner ads. So one might think that consumers are driven to online vendors by spur of the moment decisions. However, only a tiny percentage of shoppers click on banners to find vendors on spur of the moment decisions. The most three common methods are search engines, the online marketplaces, for example, the Amazon and eBay, or they go directly to a specific retail website if they have already bought some products online with that, because of the trust factor. Online buyers are mostly goal-oriented and intentional shoppers. They look for a particular product online. Alright?